Jahrome Hughes has become one of the greatest halfbacks in rugby league. He plays at halfback on the international stage for New Zealand, and just won the Dalian Medalist Player of the Year in 2024. While the Storm finished first on the ladder this season, and were favourites going into the grand final, they couldn't pull off the win, losing to the Panthers 14-6. Regardless of the result, Jahrome had an exceptional season. However, his career didn't start out too good for him, only playing in 2 NRL games in the first 4 seasons as a professional. This is the story of Jahrome Hughes. Jahrome Hughes was born on the 8th of October 1994 in Wellington, New Zealand. He would play junior footy in New Zealand for the Harbour City Eagles before moving to the Gold Coast in 2008, where he played for the Two Gun Seahawks and the Currumbin Eagles. He went to school at Palm Beach Currumbin State High School. Jahrome would side with the Gold Coast Titans in 2012 and played in their under-20s Holden Cup team between the years of 2012 and 2014. While Jahrome is one of the best halfbacks in the world, he originally started out his professional career at fullback, and around 17 or 2013, he made his NRL debut for the Titans as they lost to the Panthers 18-40. He would spend the rest of his time with the Titans playing in the Holden Cup. In 2015, he joined the Townsville Blackhawks to play in the Queensland Cup. Then later in the year, he was picked at fullback in the Queensland Cup Team of the Year and was named as the Blackhawks' best player. After the season, he would sign a 1-year deal with the North Queensland Cowboys. In 2016, he still played for Townsville Blackhawks as they were the Cowboys' feeder club at the time. In round 12, he would play his second NRL game. While he played at fullback when he was playing for the Blackhawks, when he played for the Cowboys, he played at 5'8" and scored his first NRL try as the Cowboys lost to the Dragons 10-14. This would be the only first grade game he played this season. 2017 would see Jahrome make a move to the Melbourne Storm and started the season playing for the Storm's feeder club, the Sunshine Coast Falcons. He would swap between playing fullback and 5'8", up until round 16, where he would make his debut for the Storm at the 5'8" position, scoring a try as Melbourne lost to the Roosters 24-25. The next week, he played in first grade again, this time at the fullback position, as the Storm lost to the Eels 6-22. He would play a few more games for Melbourne this season, totaling at 4 games, scoring 3 tries. 2018 would see him start in the Queensland Cup team. Then around 12, he would play in the first grade side at the fullback position, as the Storm won the game 7-6. Round 16 would see him play his first NRL game as halfback, and the Storm would win the game, beating the Roosters 9-8. He would remain in the first grade side throughout the rest of the season, swapping between halfback and fullback. He played 11 first grade games this year, scoring 2 tries. 2019 would start with Jahrome playing for the Maori All-Stars. Then with the Storm, he played fullback for most of the season, filling in the boots of Billy Slater. He started in round 1 as the Storm beat the Broncos 22-12 and played consistently throughout the year. He even made his international debut for New Zealand as they beat Tonga 34-14. Then, later in the season, he would make a move to halfback in the last few rounds of the regular season, leaving the fullback role open for Ryan Pappenhausen to move into the side. At the end of the year, he got his first taste of finals footy, playing at halfback for the Storm. They would lose in the qualifying finals to the Raiders 10-12, but they would dominate in the semis, beating the Eels 32-0. But in the preliminary finals, they would lose to the Roosters 6-14, ending their season. He played 24 games this year, scoring 8 tries. 2020 would start off with Jahrome and the Maori All-Stars again, as they beat the Indigenous All-Stars 30-16. The rest of the season would see him be cemented at the halfback position, and the Storm went on to have a great season, like they basically always do. They finished second on the ladder, only being behind the Penrith Panthers. Playing through the finals, they would play in the grand final, where they would face the Panthers. The Panthers were favourites to win, as they were the better team all season, but Melbourne would pull out the victory, beating the Panthers 26-20, giving Jahrome his first premiership win. He played 16 games this season, scoring 7 tries. 2021 would start off with the Storm beating the Rabbitohs 26-18 in the first round of the season, but in round 2 and 3, they would lose both games, one to the Eels 12-16, then the other to the Panthers 10-12. After this, the Storm would only lose one more game throughout the entire season and finish first on the ladder. Going into the finals, the predictions were similar this year. People thought the premiership would either go to the Storm or the Panthers, and after the Storm beat Manly in the first round of the finals, they would go up against the Panthers in the preliminary finals. but would lose the match 6-10, ending their season. He played a total of 24 NRL games this year and scored 9 tries. Even though the Storm didn't get the result they wanted, Jahrome had a great season and was awarded the Storm's Player of the Year. Additionally, he re-signed with the Storm until the end of 2026. Moving to 2022, as a surprise to no one, the Storm would make the finals again. However, this time it wasn't as cleanly done as the other years, as they finished 5th on the ladder. Jahrome would keep great form when playing and even scored 3 doubles throughout the season. The first one in round 5 as Melbourne beat the Raiders 30-16, then in round 7 in the Storm's 70-10 win over the Warriors, and another in round 15 as the Storm beat the Broncos 32-20. In the middle of the year, he played for New Zealand again as they beat Tonga 26-6. With the Storm ending up in 5th after the regular season, they didn't have a second chance if they lost the first week of the finals, and that is what ended up happening as they lost to the Raiders 20-18. Jahrome finished the season playing 21 games, scoring 12 tries. After the regular season, he represented New Zealand at the World Cup. In 2023, Jahrome and the Storm would have a great season, finishing 3rd on the ladder, but the front runners for the premiership this year were the Panthers and the Broncos. As Melbourne entered the finals, the first team they would go up against is the Broncos, and they lost the game 0-26. The following week, the Storm would beat the Roosters 18-13, but Jahrome didn't play due to a knee injury. And the week after this, the Storm would face the Panthers, losing to them 4-38, ending their season. He finished the year playing in 22 games, scoring 7 tries. And once again after the season, he played for New Zealand as halfback. Now for 2024, the year would start off for Jahrome playing in the Maori All-Stars again. And as for the Storm, they had a great run in the season, dominating the competition, finishing in 1st on the ladder. Throughout the year, they versed Penrith twice. The first time in round 1, winning 8-0, then in round 24, winning 24-22. And coming up to the finals, they had a clean run home, beating the Sharks 37-10 in the qualifying finals. Then, in the preliminary final, beating the Roosters 48-18. And as we all know by now, the Storm would end up losing to the Panthers in the grand final 14-6. This wasn't because Jahrome or any of the Melbourne players played bad. The Panthers just proved to be too good and the best team once again. Before the grand final took place, he was awarded the Dally M Medal as Player of the Year, winning the award by 1 point. Jahrome Hughes' professional career didn't start out too great for him, but once he was picked up by the Storm, the system truly turned him into an elite player and is undoubtedly one of the best halfbacks in the world. This really does highlight the quality of Craig Bellamy and his team's ability to spot talent from elsewhere and mould them into exceptional players. Thanks for watching.